welcome back to another video. Today I'm discussing what could be, let's be for real, what could they really be announcing in the 2026 Dragon Ball event. Of course, it may be a plethora of things, a list of things, but mostly I think it's going to be the announcement of the Dragon Ball Super manga return, unless it returns before then. But I most likely will see the Dragon Ball Super manga return, some new merchandise, some new figures that are collectibles that people are going to get. Of course, these $100, $200 figures. That's all pretty much fine and dandy that we're going to see in this event. As well, maybe a new game or update for like the apps, games, announcement, patch releases that, we all want to see. But there is no way, absolutely. Of course, I'm going to talk about this in a different video about Super and Xenoverse 3 about the possible comebacks. No way we get a Xenoverse 3 announcement. Can't be possible. Only reason, Xenoverse 2, strong fan base, strong player base, and Xenoverse 2 is one of the greatest anime games of all time. Will not hear it top 5 at the very minimum, right? It's hard for that to be built upon. Dragon Ball Super return coming back could be possibility. I just don't think it'll come back in series form, most likely movie form, but at least we would get Dragon Ball Super content. But that, of course, is talked about. That will be talked about in a different video. I'm talking about my predictions of what will most likely happen in the 2026 release. Because I promise you, if I were to make this video in about December, I wouldn't know anything about it. I wouldn't remember anything about it in January. I would have to make a video after January. That's the only reason I'm making this video now. But the most likely thing that will happen is Daima Season 2. For sure. Daima is fresh in people's minds. Daima's content was not bad at all, and it was the traditional Dragon Ball style of just adventuring and seeing new things with your friends. It was a fun little anime. Gained enough hype, gained enough content. Of course, we were going to watch anything Dragon Ball anyway, so it's very exciting to see. Of course, Daima is #1 out there. Other than that, besides Daima, you could see a Daima movie also come out, and then maybe a mini game for Daima, maybe a little app game for like Daima, for Daima's content and Daima's everything, just because Daima is still very much fresh in people's minds, so they may want to milk Daima before going back to milk Super. Super, of course, has all this content, all this great stuff, and all this hype, and people want it back, but it's not as fresh as Daima. And Super, of course, can be told in movies. Like, Superhero was not bad. Broly movie was one of the best. Like, we want to see these movies, of course. So maybe they make another movie for Super. But Daima Season 2 is most likely what will be announced. Plus, they don't really need manga content for Daima, as there was probably plans for a Season 2 left behind for Akira if the story were to continue. RIP to one of the GOATs, of course. On top of that, there was probably more Akira Toriyama behind the scenes work that is still yet to be released. Now, of course, Dragon Ball Super is getting a lot of build up tension for it to be announced, but I don't think if Dragon Ball Super were to be announced, it would be announced at Jump Festival, at Shonen Jump Festa, rather than like a Dragon Ball exclusive event. Like that don't seem like the best thing to line up, since Shonen Jump and that Jump Festival is so huge to itself that a Dragon Ball Super exclusive thing, nah. Like how Disney announced their movies at Comic-Con rather than their D23 event. That's just me. So we'll see. But my predictions, of course, is Daima Season 2 or Daima anything. For gaming wise, something about it, probably a new app game, or another person has pointed out in one of my comments in another one of my videos, it could be something that they explore in a different venture, probably another MMO game, maybe a sprite game that we haven't played in quite a while, or something that they revived from a couple of years ago, something remastered. Hopefully people have been clamoring for Raging Blast 3. I don't really understand a Raging Blast 3. I think there's 2 Raging Blasts. I love those games. So maybe we will see Raging Blast 3 come out, but with the recent Sparking Zero disappointment, I wouldn't touch Raging Blast games. If you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. Tenkaichi was such a beautiful game. Sparking Zero, kind of a letdown. And it's not like Sparking Zero is a bad game. It's just unfinished, obviously. Raging Blast 1, Raging Blast 2, one of my favorites. For me, it's a complete game. And if you were to come out with it with unfinished game just because the fans want it bad, don't do it. Don't do it. And if people don't know the difference between like a Raging Blast, Tenkaichi games, that'll probably be like a different video just because I have to go back and play those games. But they're 2 different series in of itself. Tenkaichi, Dragon Ball, Raging Blast, and Xenoverse. Like that's, for example, like Xenoverse 3 won't come out. And if we were to get an announcement for Xenoverse 3, it would probably be in 2027. Because I personally think Xenoverse 3 has been in development for quite a while. Like a Kingdom Hearts 4 or GTA 6. Just, it has been stalled. So I think you'd get an announcement for 2027 along with some gaming footage. But that's just me. You probably won't get that in 2026. Anyway, like, subscribe. These are my predictions. It'll rather be a Raging Blast game or a game that they venture into different things, or just a simple game, or just a simple confirmation of the Dragon Ball Super return, plus some figures, some updates, some patch notes to all these different video games that Toei is managing. That has been a higher player base, rather than them putting in the money and effort to make a Xenoverse 3. A Raging Blast 3, even though Raging Blast is decades old. So maybe you get a Raging Blast gaming announcement, but I hope not. Either way, like, subscribe. Maybe a DLC for Sparking Zero, and another DLC for Fighter, since they just came out with one. Either way, like, subscribe. I'll see you later.